I regret to inform you that we have failed, my friends. We tried to keep the beast contained. We tried to satiate it, but we could not, because there is only one thing that this beast wants, and all it wants is you. Welcome to the Rolling Nomads. We're gonna continue. Excuse me. We're continuing our D&D stream of Colder Than a Twitch's Wit today. Last time was pretty exciting. There was definitely some things that I don't think anybody was really expecting that happened there, and we're going to kind of pick up on that a little bit today. We don't have a full roster with us today, but last time ended on a party split. We'll get more into that later. So with that, we're going to meet the players that are here with us today.
Good day. I am RA-THERIS. I am the servant of ZERRIS. May his reign be forever and eternal. If it is not, I will kill everybody.
I am ZERRIS the Uncomfortable. I normally would have a witty bit of banter here, but I don't got anything after that. I guess PSA if you help. I don't. David, help. I'm gonna pass this back over to you because that's nope. Here you go, David.
You know that it can be hard to stop a slime with a plan. I will say that much. So, really, I think it would be best for all of us if things just didn't get to that point. Speaking of points, we ended last episode on a point. But before I get too far ahead of myself, it would be ZERRIS. Are you doing the recap today?
Yes, hello. I am doing your recap.
Yes.
Damn, I set up everything but the recap. I'm a bad person.
Oh, no.
So what happened was
You are infallible, ZERRIS.
okay. Don't like that. What happened was we were awoken by a blizzard in the middle of the night. Styria and Niam basically took care of that as best they could, as we were residing with the 14 orphans that we've kind of not adopted. They're ours now, though. We're gonna take care of them.
They are eternal servants.
Nope,
ZERRIS.
that's not the case.
They are new members of his conclave.
I will mute you so
This
quick.
Is the start of it. This is the start of his new 700 companions.
We had to deal with a blizzard, and then so rather Styria and Niam were taking care of that and cutting off all of the holes and trying to mend them as best they could, so that we weren't frozen out of our makeshift hovel at home. As the night went on, they took care of that rather well, while myself and RA-THERIS lie frozen and asleep next to the children, and making sure that all the huddled up warmth was at least consolidated into one space. After that, we woke up the next morning, and I woke up intent to acquire the home and spoke to the mayor. Upon leaving with RA-THERIS, we noticed there was a claw mark on the door, and that was uncomfy. Niam and Styria determined that it was probably either a troll of some sort or a yeti. Not kosher, not cool. The blizzard was still going on, so RA-THERIS and I made our way to the Lord Mayor's house and haggled a little bit for the property. You wanted 2,000 gold. We ended up paying 200. Well, verbally saying we paid 200. I gave him 150 gold pieces. I'm sure that won't come back to bite me.
If it does, I will bite him.
Yeah. So we bought a house, and then our allies Styria and Niam they acquired some blankets from, I forget her name, Tanya.
Yes.
And we're patching up as best they could. We also, while we were at the Lord Mayor's house, RA-THERIS and I learned that there was a man who was to say convicted would be a lie. He was going to hang for murder with no trial, no investigation, because they thought the gods were angry. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah. So that's not cool. We were gonna try to put a stop to that. So we reconvene with our allies, convince them to help us along, and that an innocent man was gonna die for a crime that he probably didn't commit. And then we're on our way, and he hung for a crime that he probably didn't commit. So
The justice system in this town is rather efficient and brutal.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where
They
we were.
process prisoners very quickly.
Niam and Styria saw it happen. We'll saw the crowd. Meanwhile, ZERRIS and myself and RA-THERIS, we were just gonna make a quick pit stop to buy some inks and supplies and things for spellcasting, and then dead man. So that's our recap, man.
Makes me wonder if the justice system will be slower and more merciful under ZERRIS's rule, but we'll have to wait and see.
Unlikely. He did not have a track record for slow justice.
Musings for a later time.
Your track record for justice was rather efficient. You used divination magic to determine guilty or innocent, and then, upon determination with magic, they were sentenced.
Hey, you got inks to buy, right?
We do. There are inks to buy, so we're gonna pick up. We will continue from the point of view with the hanging, as it were, next time when we have a full roster with us. But today, as our players have split the party at oddly a perfect time, we're gonna go ahead and
It was ZERRIS's grand plan.
we're gonna go ahead and pick up from where you were in the store, picking up those inks and some incense, some supplies.
Indeed.
Yeah, some
We are in
spellcasting things.
in the store. ZERRIS. New information has become available.
Okay.
I have located your steed.
What?
We require incense now.
Okay.
We will only be able to afford one set of ink. Then
RA-THERIS, I don't know if you understand, like, how much ink do you need? Price isn't going to be that much of an issue right now.
the quality of ink is equivalent to 10 standard gold pieces.
Okay.
The quality of incense is equivalent to 10 standard gold pieces. My budget is 25 gold pieces.
I'll cover you.
We would need ink. We would need 7,000 gold pieces of ink to coat all of your companions.
In ink?
That's a lot of ink.
Each one requires their own mark.
How much is what is the equivalent for each?
10 gold pieces.
So we only need RA-THERIS, we only need 2, and that's if they volunteer. If they're okay with it. We aren't going to brand them in their sleep.
You also require one, and each of the children require one.
We aren't.
Then we will need to rebuild your 700 companions.
We are not going to be. What? No, we aren't going to be tattooing the children.
Why not?
That is.
Do you not wish to be able to protect them appropriately?
I do. I'll tell you what. We're gonna grab. We'll grab. Bruno is going to be the steward of the house. We'll grab 3 in case he volunteers. As though, DM, how old is Bruno? Am I going to be tattooing a child?
He was 14. He was 14.
Yeah, 14.
Okay.
To which
child.
3 would only cover you and the other 2 companions.
Okay.
We would require 4, and the incense are going to be required to summon your steed.
I don't think I need a steed. I don't know what that means as well, RA-THERIS.
Then we should definitely get the incense, and I will summon your steed during investigations.
I don't feel like we need the steed right now. I don't feel like...
Do not worry.
Grab the incense,
The steed can get roughly this large in size.
I'm sorry?
The steed is roughly this large in size.
pocket steed then.
Okay.
I don't know where this is going, but morbid curiosity. Sorry, please continue.
We'll get enough for 4. Do you need a mark as well?
No, I am the conduit for all marks.
Okay.
We would require 4 inks to mark you and your 3 companions,
And then how much would you
and
think the incense will be?
another 10 gold pieces is standard.
Not a problem. All right. Excellent. Yeah, we'll take care of it.
Understood. Blow out my budget. So there goes all
Okay.
that.
We'll go 50 gold pieces for the 4. Do you need ink for anything else, RA-THERIS? Is this gonna be
That is it for now.
okay? Do you need anything else for your abilities?
No, I do not believe so at this time.
Okay.
I
So-
maintain most material components.
Okay.
Nice.
Um,
That 50 gold, just so I'm tracking, was that divided between the two of you, or was that from you exclusively, ZERRIS?
I'm carrying his gold because he refused to just hold it. I don't know why.
It would stop my ability to travel through small crevices.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll be handing over
That's
the
fair.
50 gold. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it.
Okay. Shit. I forgot that he had handed you all of his things, save for a few.
Yeah, save for said the I guess now 3 material components I have stored within my body and my spell book.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to get what you need. Was there anything else that you needed from the store?
No,
I don't believe so. Let me double check. I don't think.
right quick,
You're knocked out. What's up?
right quick, DM. So plasmoids dye themselves with ink. So that tells me that I can keep my ink and the ink stored within my body until it is used as the material component. Yes? Am I right there?
By that logic, yeah, I would say so.
Cool. Once we acquire the appropriate amount of ink, it's just going to be on the back of the hand, upside down inkwells.
Okay. Yeah,
Pouring right into the
I don't
body.
need anything else from this place.
Yeah. And then in the hand holding the incense that will be needed to summon the steed.
And it just kind of wells through your body and just spreads, almost
Mm-hmm.
like you had just poured it into a cup of liquid.
Yep. It dyes me.
That is an interesting image.
Not
So
my
with-
image, not an image I came up with.
That's fair. That's fair. So with that, shopping now taken care of, where are you headed to next?
We were following up the interrogation at this time.
Yes, you did get the rite of passage, as it were. And as you can see, there are still at this point people gathering towards the gallows.
Yeah, we'll make our way over that way.
Okay.
Handing you the inkwells once they're free of all ink.
Okay.
You may be able to sell them for pieces.
I'll pocket those.
Okay. Useful to have. And then yeah, as you make it there, you're able to show up towards the tail end of this. And through the crowd. It takes a minute because as you guys are a few minutes behind your compatriots, you are able to see the man hanging from the gallows, and upon closer look, you recognize this man as Todd Bromley. He has shown you around this town. He was with you when the Yetis were there, and now he's before you again.
Ooh. remind me, what is his relationship to Tanya?
They know each other, but other than that, they associates, I would say, would probably at
Okay.
best.
If I recall correctly, he had a wife and child. Yes.
That is
Okay,
correct.
yeah. Shit.
Yeah. Now you are
That
able to
is
see
the individual we
Styria.
traveled here with.
It
You do
is.
see Styria floating, and she is holding a rat.
I'll wave her down if I can.
So with the commotion, it does take a minute, but she eventually sees you and flutters down, still holding the rat.
What
This is bad.
Yeah, were you able to see what they just
I got
immediately?
here. We got here a little late. A little too late.
I don't think it was.
And
This can't be a coincidence. This was so quick. This was immediately after the blizzard had subsided.
Perhaps a cover up?
That's what I'm afraid of.
Shall we interrogate the people?
Not the bystanders. We should speak with the headsman and the those who found him at the scene and see the scene itself. This isn't right. Stereo, what? I feel like we'll cover more ground if we're apart. If we can cast a wider net. What would you prefer to take?
I think that's a great idea. There's a man over there. She kind of motions with her hand because again, holding rat. A cloaked man nearby the stage, like gray hair and a graying beard as well. He appears to be standing by, waiting for the event to essentially come to its conclusion before he would collect the body. And effectively an undertaker. So Syria tells you, I'm going to follow him after this is all done and see if I can't get some more information from there. And while I'm at it, I'll see if I can't get some more information from this side of the house.
Yes, of course. All right. Yes. We'll check with the. I'll see if we can find the guards that found him, or whoever discovered him, and then I'll see if I can catch the headsman as well before he would. Do you think he would know anything?
Unlikely. His job is merely ending the life.
True. I'll speak to the guards. We'll reconvene shortly. Before I forget, what's with the rat?
Oh, this is Neo.
Oh.
Then little.
Hi, Niam.
It looks delectable.
We don't need friends.
We do if we do not wish them to be animated
Okay.
against us.
I feel like there's more ethical means of
We'll
attaining that.
we'll discuss that later, RA-THERIS. For the time being, though, there's a cover up. I think something doesn't feel right. Styria.
We'll meet up later. Please stay safe.
You as well. And I'll. RA-THERIS, would you? Never mind. We should go to the guards.
If time is not of the essence, never mind. I'd say, looking at the headsman.
Do you have an idea, RA-THERIS?
You wish to go to the guards.
If you have a better idea or another strategy, by all means, I'm willing to hear it.
It occurred to me, sometimes the executioner is also primary interrogator. In small towns, typically. He
Well,
might have led interrogation,
well,
though it was not common in your empire. I could see these savages doing it.
okay. Well, we'll check with the headsman, and I'll unpack all of the trauma later of the new information. But we should check with the headsman.
Okay. So the headsman in this case would be actually up on the stage right now, um, seeing as it is an execution, so they would naturally be overseeing the event. Um, they're excuse me, dressed. They're dressed in a nicer set of clothes, more akin to their profession, um, as a member of the government here. Um, but you'll see him coming down from the stage once the Undertaker begins to take his take the stage, as it were, one to confirm that the body, has in fact become lifeless, and he will continue with his excuse me procedures and what have you once he has confirmed this. But the headsman will be walking off in the other direction. Um, and it was kind of hard to see him from like his whole body from where you were, but it shouldn't be too hard to track him down, as he did appear to be a taller gentleman.
Yeah, well, I'll follow him. RA-THERIS, what do you think? Direct confrontation, or should we? I don't imagine he's going to be going anywhere nefarious directly after an execution.
It would depend on your definition of nefarious. One might say that if he is the primary interrogator slash torturer of this town, his primary occupation is nefarious.
Fair.
However, it is also likely that he is unconnected if he is not primary interrogator. Or if he is primary interrogator and he simply got a confession via torture, it would still be useful to know whether or not he got the confession via torture.
Right.
Direct
Yes.
confrontation as of this time would likely be most effective, and it would prevent him from performing other nefarious acts
Very well.
with haste.
Let's intercept him then.
Okay.
Sir.
And as you approach, you realize exactly why he was so tall, as the upper torso is humanoid like yours, but he has the legs of a horse. So
Interesting.
it's pretty easy to spot him in a crowd.
Hmm.
Yes.
I had just sorry. I don't really know how to start this off, I guess.
That's quite all right. I'm sorry. Friends of the deceased, or
We knew him briefly. Yes. We were wondering if you could give some information as to his crimes. We arrived late to his execution, and
I see.
I'm just a bit confused as to what went on.
Well, it was quite the ordeal, I'm afraid. He was found guilty of the murder of his wife.
I see.
He was found at the excuse me. He was found by the guards this morning in the house, covered in her blood, standing over her lifeless body.
He was found at the place of his residence, where his wife had been murdered, in the place of his residence, standing over the body of his wife, who was also in the place of his residence, a place he would be. and was executed for being in the place of his residence, a place he would certainly be. Did he confess?
You understand that people can commit crimes in their own home, yes?
Yes, but
Correct.
we're just...
Did he confess?
Yes, the guards that were handling the interrogation did inform me that they had received a confession from him, although it was unusual.
Was the confession signed?
Well, of course.
What do you mean? What do you mean unusual?
Well, for a large part of the interrogation, they said that he was almost incoherent.
That
As it was described to me, it was as if the weight of what he had done had begun to take its hold on him.
I see. Would it be possible to speak with these guards that led up this investigation? We just... personally, I don't understand.
we had a rite of passage to speak to this man before his death.
Correct.
We have been robbed of this right. We wish to appropriately chastise those who robbed us.
What my friend is trying to say is we didn't experience anything that would lead us to believe he would perform such a grisly act along the way. He only just arrived back in town the day before.
Well, it is quite difficult for me to properly honor your rite of passage now, given the condition of the one that you wished to speak to. I can say that, well, while I may not be able to force the guards to speak with you, if they wish to share that information, then that would be on them. Seeing as the event is no longer under investigation, they should be able to speak freely should they wish. Let's see. Yes, and he begins rummaging through his notes and other papers that he had with him. Yes, here we are. One of them. Here we are. Marlon. Let's see, Steve. Yes. Those two gentlemen with the guards on patrol last night who found him.
Do you know where we might find them now?
Let's see. After, well, they got off a few hours ago. Possibly their home, although it is not uncommon for them to stop by the tavern after a long shift, especially after what they saw last night.
They were on shift and found a murder that happened within a private residence.
Yes, they were on shift, on patrol, and happened across a murder.
Within a house, an enclosed area.
Does your friend not know how sound works?
Forgive him. He's we're both very distraught about the news and the again, as I said, we knew him.
Sound. There was screaming?
Have you ever seen or been involved in a murder investigation? There is evidence to these things.
Yes. However, the storm happened late at night. If he was discovered in the morning, that would mean that That would mean they found him after the fact. Why would he scream at a murder that happened well into the night?
The storm didn't begin until after he was in custody.
In the evening.
Correct.
Okay.
You said he was found this morning.
Yes, early this morning.
Contradictory information.
We'll go over it later, RA-THERIS. Thank you for your time, sir.
Indeed.
Of course.
We'll depart if RA-THERIS wants to join me.
I will always join you.
Okay.
And forever.
What? To the tavern then, RA-THERIS. I don't think that he... I feel like it's a game of passing along information at this point. It's best to get to the source.
Very possible.
Do keep your notions in mind, though. It does sound as if there's conflicting timeline.
Indeed. As if people don't have their stories straight.
Early morning would make sense. It's 2, 3 in the morning, but...
Yeah, the storm did begin about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
The storm started during the third shift. As such, we must assume that it happened early in the morning. However, when you asked if it had been found in the evening, he confirmed that it was. It is likely a conflict of information, or that this is a conspiracy to murder that woman for some reason.
Erring on the side of the common man, it is difficult to keep morning and evening straight, especially during the winter when it is dark early and dark late.
Yeah, some people also do use the terms interchangeably, if that's not correct to do so.
Very true. However, it is suspicious the speed in which that they expedited his murder,
It is. It
his
very much is.
destruction, and a signed confession so early on against a man who had faced Yetis not 3 days earlier is unlikely.
We also may be adding, if both parents are dead, they had children with them.
One child, yes. We should probably interrogate her as well, and add her to your brood.
I'm comfortable with the wording, but that is my thought process, yes. We should also... It's curious that he didn't mention her. I wonder...
Indeed. I did not bring her up as I was concerned that she was in some sort of peril, and bringing her up would alert them to this.
Yes, I was wondering the same thing, if she had evaded being found or escaped.
Shall we find her first?
Let's speak to the guards first, and...
If we speak to the guards first and there are others looking for her,
we won't mention
may be
her
too
again.
late.
We'll subtly see if there was anything else in the house. Anyone else in the house. No other suspect in the house.
Let's ask more on the scream, who they heard. If they heard a woman's or a man's scream, then we can either rule out that it was her, as a child's scream is very distinct from an adult woman's scream.
I agree. We'll make our way to the tavern and yeah.
So Marlene, the dwarven woman that helped feed all of the children, is again manning the counter. And she'll wave to you as you come in. It's sparsely populated at this hour. Excuse me. There's a few patrons scattered throughout, enjoying the meal, but at the bar there are 2 guards. From what you can tell, they are both heavily intoxicated, and one of them is currently unconscious.
Hello, good sirs.
Oh, hi.
Morning finding you well.
Yeah. You been outside, mate?
Yes.
It's fucking. It's cold as shit. And
It is indeed colder than a Twitch's wit.
God damn it.
that's what your weird friend said.
Yeah. Might we join you for a pint or two?
Oh, sure, sure. Hey, wake up. Mhm. He just passes back out. His friend is gone.
Good,
Yeah.
he is alive.
Yeah. Yeah, the deceased, right? Hey, Marlene, so some drinks for my friends. Friend, yeah, for these bucks.
Yes. We were hoping to speak with you about the what occurred last night.
Ah, yeah. Oh man, that shite was that. I ain't never seen anything like it around these, but not inside the city anyway. Oof.
We were just curious. We didn't understand fully what was going on. We traveled with him. We didn't realize we were traveling with
A
someone capable of
monster.
that.
Hey, I've been on the force for a couple of years now, and I never seen nothing like that.
Yes. Um
That, that,
How did you discover it? If it was in his house, as the gossip has led to believe.
yeah, we found him in his house. We me me and and Steve here. We we was doing our rounds, and Marlene will come and put a flag of ale in front of both of you, and go back to her duties. Yeah,
I
we
take
was
the passed out guy's cup and I put it on the ground and I extend a pseudopod. So as I'm drinking, I'm just excreting it into the cup on the ground.
your biology continues to surprise me.
while
Yes.
as the ale arrives, I'll push the flagon over to the one who is conscious and say, please, I don't want you to speak on this without something to help ease it, if that makes sense.
Cheers, mate. And
And
he'll just start.
Cheers.
the moment he raises his glass, I'm going to cast Zone of Truth.
Ooh, okay. For those who perhaps aren't as familiar, could you detail how this works?
Absolutely. So Zone of Truth is a cost takes one action to cast. It's at 60 foot. I can cast do it at a 60 foot range. It's a 15 foot sphere.
Okay.
Its verbal somatic components duration lasts for 10 minutes. You create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15 foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range until the spell ends. A creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw.
Of course. Okay. So let me just get in a nice little wisdom saving throw here for this guy.
Yeah.
His friend being unconscious. If he regains consciousness during this, then I'll have him roll as well. But
Understood.
for now, it's not going to matter too much. Let's.
DC's 14, by the way. Not terribly
Okay.
high.
I mean, the highest possible DC is 26. You're over half of that.
Which of course, roll 20 is being quite slow for me today. That's awesome.
No
Okay.
worries.
So because of that, he's not going to be able to lie to you during this.
Neat.
Understood.
Yeah. So the
Bless
patrol.
you.
Yes. We was walking. We was walking,
Bless you.
and no, it was late last night, early this morning. Pretty cold, but it was a calm night. It was really pretty. You know that you had that light snowfall going on. The kind that just reminds you of when you just there sipping cocoa with your grandma. I
Mm.
miss those days. And then we heard the the scream, and it it, it was it was a lady scream, and then there was a man screaming, and the door was locked. So we're trying to open it, and it sounded like there was a ruckus, and 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 then something crashed, a loud noise, and and then we kicked the door. It kind of like you hear in the stories where they kick the door, and I thought I was gonna fall down when I kicked the door because getting a little chubby, but it's my winter. It's my winter weight, you know.
Yeah.
The wife keeps telling me that was it, but I keep telling her, you know, guys stay well for the winter. And yeah, yeah, we found him, and it looked like she tried to like get a knife, and he had some cuts on him, and it, it was a mess, man. It was.
You said you heard a scream, and that's what prompted you to enter his home. Did it sound like it could have been his wife, or was it a scream of rage from him, or?
It definitely sounded like the missus.
I see.
He was wounded.
Uh, yeah, yeah, it looked like yes, he had some spots where he had been like cut or stabbed, right? Because then there was the knife, and then yeah,
He stabbed himself with the knife he killed her with.
Was there evidence of a struggle?
oh yeah, oh yeah, the whole place was kind of a shit show, like just uh, it, it was it was bad, man.
He used the knife. Did you keep the weapon?
Oh, well, yeah, what that's that's evidence, man.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
We
We're just.
gotta keep all all that. Oh.
Yeah, we're just immensely interested in this because, again, we traveled with him. We didn't show any signs of this at all.
It's, I don't know, man. Sometimes people just got screws loose.
It's a curious thing how quick this was, though, don't you think? His execution.
Indeed, he confessed rather quickly to the crime.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you get him to admit so quickly?
Well, that was not quick, but trust me, being in the room with that nut job, not quick. Getting him to stay on like as focused as I am right now, just and and as articulate. It just oh man, my shift was supposed to be over like hours ago, man.
Yeah,
But there's so much paperwork there, and just
I understand. There was no sign of any other inhabitant. There was no other sign of any other possible entry or individual that was in the home with them.
no, not what I got.
Interesting. Interesting. If no sign of anyone else in the house, and he confessed to the murder, what did he say? Or did he simply sign a pre-written confession?
He said a lot of things. So pre-written, that's an urban myth. Like that's like what they tell you in those books, and they make up the stories with the people kicking the doors in. That we write it as we go. That way, yeah, they say we did the thing, and then they signed the thing saying that they did that. A lot smoother process. So it the bosses like it a lot better because there's a lot less fuck ups.
I see. So he said he did the crime?
8 days, yeah. He was really beating around the bush about it, but he's eventually, after a couple of hours, when we were able to get a straight bit of information out, God, yeah. I'll be honest with you, though. I kind of think the dude would have lost it. Like, I mean, you don't just do that to somebody and be right in the head, you know.
Yeah. Did are you the were you the primary investigators? You and your companion.
Yeah. There were a couple other guys gathering the evidence while we were talking to them, but that we didn't start that until they brought us all of as much of they still brought some things after, but the main stuff, the knife, and then somebody the the body out of there, and that's already the the place where the body.
Right. Um his home, is it where he was found? Is it close for in the investigation?
Uh, no, I think it just got signed back over to the lady's sister. She's probably still over there.
The
I wouldn't
woman's
know.
sister?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I get the heebie-jeebies whenever I go into places where people got all like killed like that, and
Where is his, well, the victim's sister? Is she in town?
yeah, she had to be to get the stuff signed over to her.
I see.
So she would be over at the house right now.
Understood. Thank you for the story. RA-THERIS, is there anything else you were looking to learn?
No, these individuals are appropriately intoxicated and unlikely to be involved.
I'll drink to that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your time. Uh, and I'll leave 5 silver on the table for their troubles and their drinks.
I will follow
Cheers.
ZERRIS.
What do you think, RA-THERIS?
There are two major possibilities. Either the daughter did it or the sister did it. I am more inclined to believe the daughter did it, as a
Why?
father would not confess to a crime if his sister-in-law did it. But if his daughter was responsible in some way, shape, or form, such as being cursed with lycanthropy, though that is a stretch, if he would be inclined to sacrifice his existence for her. The sister obviously is taking advantage of the situation and benefiting, though.
Indeed, I'm personally more inclined to think that the sister did it, but I don't know. You're right. I don't know why he would confess to a crime for his sister-in-law, unless.
Especially knowing that death was the outcome. It would be unlikely that he would confess. However, if the daughter did it via some horrible means or was compelled in some way, looking out for her, a father should sacrifice their life for their children, as you said long ago.
I don't recall saying that, but I'm fairly. I'm inclined to agree. What do you think our next move? Should we go to the house? I don't know. Where is his daughter? Where is his daughter?
We should go to the house first. Inquire about the daughter. Then I will search the house through my own means. This might be an appropriate time to summon your steed, as your steed has the ability to phase through walls and would be able to find hidden entrances I could not.
If you think a phantom horse would be.
It is not a horse.
What does that mean? If you think a phantom steed would be helpful, by all means.
Indeed, I can see through its eyes, so it will be very helpful.
Okay.
However, this will take me approximately 10 minutes and 6 seconds.
Understood. Not a problem. I will wait with you, and while you cast, I will pray.
Understood. With that, I'm going to cast the Find Familiar spell as a ritual.
Okay.
And because I have the Strixhaven mascot feat, I will summon the Fractal mascot.
Oh. Okay. That is a newer book that came out. So what, maybe in the past 6 months or so?
Indeed.
So could you elaborate a little bit to paint a picture both for me and for the viewers as to what we're seeing here?
All right. Well, for those of you who don't know, the Fractal mascot takes the form of a fractal, a worm-like creature made of many shards of shards of crystal. And my favorite part about it is it can grow and shrink, hence the steed thing. So what's going to happen is as I am summoning, basically a collection of shards are going to slowly and meticulously place themselves together until such a time that the fractal mascot is fully assembled. And this snake thing will appear at, I think it defaults to tiny size.
Little pocket steed.
Yeah, exactly. It defaults to small, so it is, the size of a dwarf or halfling.
Oh. Or our fairy friend.
Indeed.
Yeah. Okay.
Then, upon its summoning, I will order it to diminish in size to size tiny.
Okay. And ZERRIS, you said that during this time you would be praying. Was there anything in particular that you're trying to do here?
Yes. I am. Don't imagine I am very familiar with Thelius. However, given my previous history and background, I imagine I am relatively well acquainted with Agor. Agor.
Yes. He is. So, for the viewers here, the first deity that he mentioned, Thelius, is the god, or I suppose you could say gods, of law and order and things of that nature. Agor, on the other hand, um, is known by a good number of names, but is is the god of deception, often known as the Black Seed, most commonly because he likes to plant himself in civilizations and grow from there. Uh, I would say with some of the shady things you've done in the past, uh, you you've probably had some interactions, or at least minor blessings from him in the past.
Excellent. I will mutter a quick prayer to Draocht, asking for forgiveness. And then I will pray to Agor.
Ah,
I
okay.
am. Agor, my deceit has served you well in the past. I find myself falling into the habits that you so readily put before me. And now you've put down a mystery. I must admit, I am perplexed. I ask that you reveal the truth to me, God of Deception. And in exchange, I will craft a deception, a lie, so intricate and so beautiful that it will be worthy of your praise.
It's quiet for some time. And having dealings with Agor in the past, it is almost unheard of that you get a straight answer from him. It's almost always something more to it, perhaps a riddle, perhaps uh, tidbits of information scattered throughout. But oddly enough, while misleading at times, it's not always untruthful. and you hear in the faintest of whispers that the key lies in his heart. And that not everything is as it seems.
Is that all?
That is all.
Thank you, God of Deception. I look forward to paying my end of the bargain very soon. No, I'll wait for RA-THERIS' ritual to be done.
After 10 minutes and 6 seconds, it is complete. The snake is there. It is roughly the size of the fairy. Your steed has been summoned.
I have questions.
In what regards?
You say steed.
Yes.
That is a snake.
Yes, you can ride it.
I am quite large in comparison, RA-THERIS.
Ah, I see. You have forgotten. Get bigger.
What?
Every 6 seconds or so, it just pulses and gets larger and larger and larger
Okay.
and larger.
Okay, RA-THERIS. RA-THERIS.
How big does this thing get?
It's gonna go up to huge.
What?
Oh.
No, RA-THERIS, please.
Your steed, behold, it lost its wings. It is a failure.
Oh. Can you make it not as
Looking down on you.
conspicuous?
Yes. Get smaller. Starts to shrink. 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 Gets to about a foot in length.
Excellent.
Now, and then it looks like a little happy snake.
Okay.
No step on snake.
No step on snack.
As- I-
It's gonna like go up to your leg and do that thing where snakes climb trees. How snakes climb trees.
I would imagine that. So, is it large enough to actually round?
Not all the. So you know snakes
like,
climb trees, right?
Right.
Yeah. So they basically make the hooks. So it's gonna
Yeah.
get It's gonna get long enough that I can make the little.
Okay, and kind of shimmy its way up his leg.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't.
If you wish, you can help it get to its position.
Yeah, I'll grab the snake up and just where would you like to be, little one?
It kind of gestures to your shoulder.
Okay, just
Yes, it doesn't like to sit on my shoulder. It falls into me a lot.
okay. Let's make our way, shall we, RA-THERIS? Does it have a name?
It is your steed. You erased its name when you told me to disregard all orders.
Can you describe this thing again? What does this thing look like?
It is a set of fractals in the form of a snake.
Okay.
It is a shard of Drotcht that
Oh!
was tamed.
That's. Oh. What do you mean tamed?
You acquired the shard and determined it to have limited sentience. It was required to be bent to your will, as Drotcht does with all magic. You did to Drotcht, and as such.
Okay, hold on.
As such.
Yeah.
It is a shard.
Interact. Yeah.
Of Drayoct.
As you described.
Indeed.
Yes.
And you said I acquired this.
Indeed, you found it.
I found this. Okay.
Correct.
That's-
It was in the astral plane.
I've never been.
You would go very often.
I see.
Upon finding it, you took it and made it yours. The reason it resembles a snake now is because of you. Though it had wings in its previous iteration,
Okay.
it has clearly degraded.
Okay.
I say, looking at the snake, and the illusion kind of gets a disappointed but also angry at it look.
I'm gonna unpack this later. For the time being, is there a name you prefer, little one?
It is unintelligent.
Okay.
Suppose you can name it whatever you'd like then.
We'll brainstorm along the way. Let's make our way, shall we?
Indeed.
Just a shard of a god on my shoulder.
Yeah. And
Perhaps one name you could give it is Drochta's Future.
I'm uncomfortable speaking. Sorry, DM. What are the pronouns of this deity?
I believe this one was more androgynous.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable speaking their name right now, lest we catch their eye, and they see that I have a shard of a god on my shoulder.
Really? I was under the impression they would be appreciative.
It feels like we stole this. It feels like this shouldn't. It feels like this was. Like I don't want to think about this too much. This is stressing me out. Let's go solve the murder. This is less stress. The murder's less stressful.
Do not worry. It was taken by all rights of yours.
Walking
And the link was magically forged by you between me and it.
Okay. Well, yeah.
And just gonna put this out there. We're gonna name this thing in game because if we leave this to the internet, we're gonna have Snaky McSnakeface or something highly inappropriate.
We're just gonna have Snack. That's what they're gonna call it.
Yeah, snack. Just
The,
well, I don't want like a Mountain Dew fiasco,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
we're gonna
exactly.
leave this one to the players. And yeah.
Yeah, walking and talking, I guess.
Yeah. And if I recall correctly, you did visit their house when you first got here.
We did, in fact, visit their house when we first got here, so we know where it is. 'Cause we dropped them off at their house, and then we visited a second time to get the tour.
Right. Okay, so are you going to be heading straight there, or are you making any pit stops along the way that we should know about, or?
I don't think I have a pit stop, really.
No. Unless ZERRIS wishes his tattoo now. I have nothing else I could do.
Sure. Yeah, let's...
Good.
Actually, that's probably a good idea with what we're getting into. Probably a good idea. Let's do a back alley tattoo.
Understood.
Tattoo.
Where would you like it?
I don't know. I've never considered body art before.
Would you like it in your previous location?
Where was it in my previous location?
I point to your other arm that doesn't have the birthmark.
Okay. Sure. That'll work just fine. That's fine.
All right. I present your forearm, and then it's just hand on top, then chanting, wiggling. You don't really feel anything for 10 minutes straight. No eye contact, no anything. Just 10 minutes straight. And then some of the ink vanishes from my body as I lift the hand and a symbol appears on you.
Are you physically capable of eye contact, or is that just through the illusion?
Just through the illusion. No, the illusion doesn't bother with eye contact because it's reading me as focusing on this, even though the head amalgam might be looking elsewhere. I mean, I look through
Yeah.
every part of my body except for my pseudopods. So, like, I can see through my hand,
I don't
and
like
taste
that.
through my hand,
I don't like
and
that.
smell through my hand.
None of that is okay. What does this symbol look like?
So it's an oculus with 8 spokes, each to represent the 8 schools of magic, surrounded by another ring that has a second outer ring consecutively. And in between those rings is written your name.
Okay.
In your case, it is the Lord Great Master ZERRIS.
This feels like a
ruler of all
tramp
that should
stamp,
ever
but
be.
like ostentatious.
I was waiting for it. I knew it was coming.
This feels
Yeah.
like a more ostentatious tramp stamp, and I don't like it.
Honestly,
No.
a tramp stamp probably would have been a little classier.
Now you
Which
gain all the benefits of my mark.
What is that?
You will always have a better chance of resisting my magic.
Okay.
I will also be able to project my ward once that finally starts working again to you at further range, as well as sending messages to you up to a mile away, as well as linking us telepathically anywhere on the plane of existence, and
Oh.
allowing your communication network to exist.
That's convenient.
Indeed,
Great.
I can do it between you and 4 other people.
Okay. Good.
That's good.
Good. And you don't require a mark.
No, I am the conduit for the mark. I use the mark to target you.
Okay. Excellent.
It has other additional features, but those are less important as of this time. For instance, if I had retained the locate object spell, I could use it to locate objects at a considerably farther range,
Okay.
as long
Yes.
as they had that mark.
Excellent. Perfect. No, this will be very convenient. This will be useful.
Indeed. I did not prepare the message cantrip this day. I will do so tomorrow, allowing communication over this entire village based on how small it is.
Not a problem. We'll deal with that at a later date. For now, let's continue our investigation. We'll meet up with Styria, and that's quite useful. I would implore them to take the mark. I don't want to force them, but it would be quite useful for communications purposes.
Indeed. You required all of your companions to take the mark, and most of your vessels.
My vessels.
Yes, your ships.
I was able to communicate with my ships. What ships?
No, the locate object feature.
Oh, okay.
It also had several other features, but it was primarily used by your companions and direct confidants. All of your family wore it as well.
My family?
Indeed.
Is this where we find out that he had 14 children?
You are too
I'm not asking that. I'm not. No, we're not. I refuse to dig any deeper than that. Absolutely not.
Musings for a later time.
I'm just gonna compartmentalize everything, and eventually it'll become a tumor, and it will kill me. Onward. Onward.
Onward, indeed.
Onward. Yeah, because I don't think therapy is a cleric spell in this edition, so we'll have to figure that out later.
Be very careful what you say there, David. We don't know. We have at least 4,000 spells to go through.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, I'll just be espousing other advantages, such as it allows me to do locate object or dispel magic. It gives me advantage on dispel magic checks to things that are marked. Magic circles are more powerful. Scrying is made easier. Teleportation is easier. That kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
I just like Yeah, my ward can double its range, so
Nice.
it's pretty
And
freaking useful.
yeah, I'll definitely as it comes up, I'll probably be like, "How are you able to do the thing?" And then you're like, "The ward or the mark rather."
Yeah.
And then yeah, yeah, um, yeah. All right, so you guys are on your way to the Bromley Estates.
Correct.
Right. So as you arrive, you can see from as the guard told you, the front door is damaged, consistent with being kicked in. So it doesn't latch properly at the state, but it's more open an inch or two, um, slightly ajar, but not really going anywhere at the moment.
Okay.
And the door
Or
opens.
I guess pull because the doors are open outwards. Outward doors open outward, so just I hold the door
It
open
was,
for you.
this door was also kicked in,
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
so it would be a push open this time.
It'd probably fall off its hinges then if we did that.
I
Let's.
mean, if you were to pull it, yeah, but
Let's do
this one opens inward.
But we're discussing a door. Let's just go in.
Listen,
D&D.
Anyways.
God.
D&D.
Fucking
Listen.
door.
If we aren't arguing about doors, what are we doing? This
Yeah.
isn't D&D. If we don't argue about doors, listen.
That's
If
fair.
you don't
And
if we don't spend at least 10 minutes trying to figure out how to open that door that was kicked in,
Someone
are
kicked
we
for
playing
3.5.
D&D? Are we playing D&D?
no,
Okay.
but there was no glyph of warding, no rolling of initiative, no other things that players.
Oh yeah,
PTSD
right. We didn't check for traps. Oh no.
You didn't check for traps. No, none of that this time. I know. I feel like there's gonna be so many that hate comments on YouTube. Oh, he's such a bad DM. He didn't have them check for traps before they opened the door. Yeah. To that. Just. Why say
David.
that?
Yeah,
not allowed to do
our
that?
audience.
Yeah. No. That's just for the haters. Everybody else, they get this one.
Okay.
There we go.
We enter into the home.
You enter the room. And in here, there is a woman inside. She doesn't seem to have noticed you yet. Just very common, rather not. I wouldn't say quite tattered, but definitely not new clothing. Her sleeves are rolled up, and she has a bucket of water next to her and a brush, and she is working on scrubbing out the large amounts of blood that have seeped into the floor.
Oh, I will cast the message cantrip to RA-THERIS. Follow my lead. We're gonna lie.
Understood.
Madam.
Oh. Sorry, I didn't hear you come in.
Apologies,
And
didn't mean
she'll
to scare
set the
you.
bucket in there and take a towel and kind of like
Before she
try to grab
turns
her
to
hand.
us, the fractal serpent is going to fall through ZERRIS because it can phase through things.
Oh,
It's going to
That's-
fall through ZERRIS,
okay.
and and begin to move off.
Okay. Is this like through the floor or on top of it?
So if it ends its turn in the floor, it's going to take damage. So what it's doing is
Kind of. Okay.
like every once in a while we're going to see it,
Just
but it's trying to move
leapfrogging
out
through
of
the
her.
floorboards.
But it's trying to move out of her line of sight.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah, easy enough. Yeah, no, she's distracted as it is, so that's easy enough
Exactly.
to attain.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, she'll put the brush in the bucket. The water at this point is a deep shade of red, and she'll begin drying her hands with a towel that she had around her waist. I'm sorry. Can I help you?
We were actually hoping to help you. You see, madam, I'm a priest. When such grisly affairs occur, I'm sorry. I should verify. Are you the new warden of the home?
Temporarily, yes. Uh, sorry. Iris.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm ZERRIS.
Indeed.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and you said you're from the church? Or...
Yes. I am. Forgive me. F- yes. Were sent to cleanse your home.
To ensure there was no apparitions of the deceased.
Nothing. You don't want to be dealing with a poltergeist in your new abode. However temporary it might be, it can be quite troublesome.
That's much appreciated. I mean, I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with the place yet. I, I'll be honest with you. I didn't have much of an intention of staying here longer than necessary. But
Are you not a
I
resident of
couldn't make the
Nypoint?
most. I am. I live on the other side of town.
I see.
So it would be inconvenient to have this location.
Really, it would be. I have no use for a second home. But right, I hadn't even begun to worry about that. I couldn't leave it looking like this.
Of course, and
Indeed, it will be hard to sell.
if you would kindly, I would like to help alleviate some of your troubles. Along with our traditional services, I can begin cleaning the remains.
That would be greatly appreciated. I must apologize though. I'm not sure that I can afford it with all the other
This is a
funds
complimentary
necessary.
service. It's community based. This is almost like a volunteer thing. Situation, if that makes sense.
Indeed, it is paramount that this is done. We will not charge you for it. If you wish, I am capable of magically cleaning it. I will begin immediately. This is why I am here.
Well,
W-
that would help so much.
Well, then,
Is this the only place with blood in the house?
From what you can see, this is more the living room slash kitchen area. You can absolutely see where the body was, and effectively this entire room. There's a large pooling of the blood. You can see some footprints from when the guards had come through, and try as they may to have avoided stepping in the blood, it was kind of unavoidable. Um, there's also a considerable amount of splatter on the walls as well. Um, but to answer your question, it is just contained within this room.
Okay. Okay.
I will.
In which case, I'm going to start the cleaning in basic humanoid form rather than my, much more badass blob with many tentacles form.
I'm gonna. Iris, if you'd like to sit and join with me for a moment, I know that this can be a hard time if you'd like to discuss some things. Clear your mind a bit while my companion begins his magics.
Yes, yes. Can I get you anything to drink?
No, thank you. Please, let's retire to a more private space.
Okay. Um, Now it is a smaller house. There's only really two other rooms here. Um, but she does take you. It's more or less a sort of mudroom in the front, places for really the room you entered in. Um, and the purpose of a mudroom, for those who don't know, is really just taking off soiled boots and cold weather gear and the like from coming in from the snow and muddy environment, as those tend to coincide with each other.
Yep.
A small room. There's again, you can see some cold weather gear and boots and the like, but and naturally mud, given the name. Blood had also been trailed through this part as well, because that's the way that they had left the building. So,
My familiar is looking for the daughter,
I see. Okay.
going through at things to find her.
As
And
Iris,
what?
continue. Sorry.
Yeah, and once it finds it, since telepathic communication, it will. And this is a small building. I should be able to.
Oh, you're well within range.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
if she is there, it will find her. Given that no wall can stop it.
Horrifying.
Understood. And you'll have plenty of time to do that, and we will detail the results of that after ZERRIS's conversation with Iris. So I figured it would take about that long.
Got it.
I'll send a message very quickly to RA-THERIS as she leads me to the mud room or to this private space. Search whatever you can. I will keep her as busy as possible for as long as I can.
Your steed is already on it.
Excellent. And as we enter, I'll does this space have another door that we can close to kind of keep privacy?
Yeah. So you would have a door that you can close between this room and where RA-THERIS is. The one from this room to the outside, though, is the one that's broken, so it won't close properly.
Understood. I will close the door between RA-THERIS and I, and I'll go to close the door as best as I can to keep the warmth in. And
Right. And it creaks open about an inch.
Yeah, I'll tell her I'm going to be casting something that will help soothe you and help ease you into this, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. She'll take a seat. She's clearly upset. She's spent her morning, cleaning that up. So
yeah, I will cast Zone of Truth.
Okay. Now, and given that she effectively consented to this, I'm going to go ahead and waive the saving throw for that. Because
you could argue, since I lied about what this exactly is, this is definitely not going to make her feel better.
Okay. Placebo.
True. Yeah, it's your call, DM. But
you're a priest who said this would feel better.
I
don't know about you, but if I was a peasant in the Middle Ages, I would trust priests.
The downfall of the Middle Ages.
Given that, I'm going to have her roll it, but it's going to be at disadvantage.
Excellent. Fair enough.
I can...
I am not a good cleric.
You're a great cleric. You're just not a cleric of a good deity. You're a cleric from a neutral deity.
I am terrified of whenever Drayoct catches wind of what I've been doing. But we'll see, I guess.
He's that would be like if you were a cleric of Mistra and you're doing hood rat shit. Like Mistra doesn't care as long as you're doing hood rat shit with magic. You're good.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Take a level of wizard. You'll be fine.
Never. I want to be able to call down God.
So as far as her saving throw, she definitely failed. Yeah, she failed pretty hard.
Excellent.
So as far as she knows, you've done your cleric thing. We'll see how things go from there.
Excellent. I don't want to pester you with questions. I'm sure you've had that enough with the guards. Instead, I'd like you to begin at the beginning. What do you feel? What do you feel you wish to speak of? Would you like to talk about the situation? Would you like to talk about something else?
I don't know how he could do something like this. Like he he never really seemed the type to lose his temper. I mean, sure he might raise his voice every once in a while, but I mean, who doesn't?
Yes. Were you too close?
She, we, yeah, we had. I lived right on the other side of town. And I don't know. We were supposed to be meeting up later this week, and it's just we meet up about once a month, and look,
You must have been terribly worried after hearing this, of course, about your nephew.
my nephew.
I was under the impression that there was a nephew. Was I incorrect?
I mean, not a nephew, no. But I have a niece.
I see. Apologies, incorrect information on my part.
Oh, it's your birthday today too.
That's terrible. I'm very
That's
sorry to hear it.
why we were meeting up later this week. We were gonna get together and have a celebration.
I would assume that the child would fall into your care, correct?
Yeah, yeah, that we have no idea where she is.
The guards didn't find her in the home upon the discovery.
No, they told me. I asked about her, and they said that they were doing patrols through the city, but they hadn't found her.
I see. I'll alert the order after we're done here, and we'll see what we can do as well. What else? This is meant to ease your mind and to put yourself in a more positive place.
I don't know. I don't know. I got here this morning. I mean, the storm was still raging when I got here. Um, I just got back from identifying the body. And
I understand that he confessed to the crime. Surely you must find some solace in his execution.
I would maybe some, but with my sister gone and my niece nowhere to be found, it's hard to find a lot of comfort in anything right now.
I understand. Oftentimes, there is a feeling of guilt for the surviving members of a family. Tell me, do you feel any guilt? Is there anything you feel you could have done differently?
Maybe it would have been different if I had stayed the night and taken off of work a few days earlier, so that we could do the celebration the day of. Maybe that would have changed things.
I want you to know that the feelings of guilt are normal. I want you to understand that this was not your fault. You did not raise the knife, did you? Were you complicit in the murder?
I wasn't even here. Oh,
Did you convince him to harm your sister?
never.
I'll take her hand at this point and say, then this is in no way your fault. I don't know what possessed him to commit this heinous act. But rest assured, the gods will sort this out. I will not be pushing a faith on you. I will not tell you to pray. I myself, not long ago, went through hardships of my own, and when people showed me religion and the gods, I shunned them. What good were the gods when my strife was here, now, and so physical? But I want you to understand that the world has a way of righting itself, be it through chance or gods or just people. Is there anything else that you need to free yourself of? I'll remind you that as a member of the church, these talks will be confidential.
I don't think I haven't had time to write the letters to my other sisters and let them know.
How many other sisters do you have?
There were 7 of us altogether.
Including...
Including Joel, yes.
I understand.
And I don't know what to tell them if we can't find Priscilla.
I can promise you that Priscilla will be found.
You cut out a little bit there. I missed the last part.
I can promise you that Priscilla will be found. Were you close to their husband? Your sister's husband, I mean.
I would say so, yeah.
How close, if I might ask? Did you consider him a brother in his own right?
Yeah. I would. He was always so good with the kids. We even watched watched mine from time to time.
So you would say that the feelings were reciprocated?
I believe so, yeah.
Take as much time as you need. I'm here to listen. I think with that, I have no more questions for her. I'm just gonna let her vent.
Okay.
Can I get her name one more time? I've
course.
just lost it already. I've been
No.
writing these notes as sister was.
Yep. So her name is Iris Belling.
Iris Belling. Understood.
Excuse me. And then through that conversation, you're over the course of the conversation, you're able to learn more as she opens up. Excuse me. That through the excuse me, through the years, Joel and Todd had been married for quite some time, and during that time they had tried on numerous occasions to have children, all of which unsuccessful until Priscilla.
Hmm.
So, um, so naturally that was the family itself went through some difficult times through that, um, but and much as you've seen from the people around here, they saw that as a sort of blessing from the gods that they were finally able to conceive and raise a child together.
Okay.
And then I also, Zone of Truth. It's a beautiful spell. You you do learn that there were potentially. She didn't speak directly on the matter. Um, excuse me. Um, Perhaps due largely from the stress of the situation. Um, excuse me. But there is definitely reason for you to believe that at least one of Iris's children might be Todd's.
Ooh.
She wouldn't confirm it, but there is a possibility there.
Okay, so that makes things a little more spicy. Okay.
I mean, it's a small village,
All right.
close families.
Close families indeed.
I will push on that a little bit. I would push on that a little bit. Just
Okay.
subtly. You said your emotions were reciprocated. In him as well. Was he under any delusions that perhaps if things maybe had turned out different, the two of you could have been something more?
I don't know if it was even that. It just they had been trying for a kid for so long, and then she kind of shut down, and I mean, I can't really blame her. That I mean, she she lost 6 children before she even had a chance to hold any of them, and oh, it was it was just one time, but that, really that was enough. We both agreed never speak of it again, and just never have it again, and that was supposed to be the end of it.
This child. How old are they now, if I might ask?
14.
You still care for them, correct?
Of course, he's my son.
Of course, I don't mean to imply anything. Just make sure I understand.
And, not long after, she was pregnant again, and then we got Priscilla.
Understood. I will just continue to listen. Again, I don't think I have anything pressing.
Yeah.
Especially after
You
that.
also learn over the course of that conversation that Joel didn't know necessarily. If she did, she didn't say anything about it. But Iris suspected that she knew.
Okay.
Yeah. Never confirmed, just a suspicion. But
Okay.
now during this, our fractal friend, I believe, was roaming the house, correct?
Correct.
And throughout the course of this, and he returned to you, or they returned to you, and there is no sign of Priscilla here. There's of course her personal belongings, given that she, it was her room. But as far as Priscilla herself, she's not here. And your friend even checked the crawl space underneath the house.
Was there any indication of claw marks?
There was.
There was. Where are they focused?
So there were some on the floor. It was difficult to see them before with how heavily the floor was saturated with blood. But you are able to see some claw marks, as well as some leaving the door, or I'm sorry, the back door. It's almost as if when whatever it was going through that door had left some marks on the door. Those ones were quite faint, though. Your friend only noticed them because he had the proper time to investigate. That's right, the little fractal guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm thinking, because right now, mind is at lycanthrope or something. Something broke in and stole the kid. Mine went to lycanthrope or Yeti. Vengeance Yeti? Yetis are stealthy. It was
Yetis are
programmed.
stealthy, and it was a blizzard.
It was snowing beforehand too.
Yeah.
So if it happened before the blizzard started, then it was snowing beforehand. They would have had extra stealth benefits, just because of that. And then the blizzard would have been perfect escape. Obviously, the blizzard covered tracks unless it would have been early. The first snow should have turned to ice under the weight of the second snow. I have control water. Let's see if that left footprints in the ice or mud. And
So
remove.
you can see a parcel.
gonna follow its general
the-
direction.
The blizzard did kind of distort it quite a bit. But it does it looks like it leads back to the main road before the heavy traffic of that. So it kind of loops back around the house, comes to the main road, but the heavy traffic from the main road distorts the rest.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm not best tracker in the world. That's another one of his companions. So I'm going to return to ZERRIS, and you're gonna hear a knock after a little bit of the pressing.
Understood.
ZERRIS, may I speak to you?
Of course. Please, Iris, if you would like to return inside, I don't wish to have you wait here with the small draft.
Now, RA-THERIS, I would trust that you have cleaned up most, if not all, of the blood by this point in time.
It is spotless. I am a master cleaner. I might have eaten some of it though.
Gross.
That's
It's easier if I just make like 5 pseudopods sticking
You
off
just
of my hand,
fucking
throw it on the
silly putty yourself
ground,
over this? I don't like it.
and then wave them around.
yeah. That's a pleasant image, to be sure. Yeah, no, but she'll go inside and heavily relieved to see that the blood is gone, the mess is gone. Yeah. So, and she's gonna go and take care of the bucket of water and dispose of that. Um, yeah, before going to get herself cleaned up as well. So you were seen.
There was another entity in this house.
What do you mean? What kind of entity?
I point to the claw mark on the floor.
Judging from the claw mark, it looks almost as if it was caused by something walking.
The
So
tracks lead to the back door, then loop around to the main road. There was another entity in this house. The child is still missing. I have failed you in this regard.
It's not a failure, RA-THERIS. You've discovered something interesting. While you were performing your ritual, I entreated with the gods that they might intervene and give us some guidance. I was met with just a simple phrase. The key is in his heart. Not everything is as it seems. Iris confessed that she had an affair with Todd. They have a child. She was convinced that her sister knew, but there was never confirmation. He's 14 now. I may be connecting dots that aren't there, but I think that if she hadn't told him and he found it on his own, he would have been angry and sought to eliminate the woman standing in the way of his mother and father being together.
Then his adoptive father is next to die.
Maybe.
In that case. If, however, they are humanoids, yes?
Yes. DM, I'm sorry.
They are. Yes.
I don't know if I caught this as well. I didn't pry into if Iris had a husband.
So she said that she did.
Okay.
And
through that conversation as well. Again, Zone of Truth is a wonderful spell. As far as she was aware, he is oblivious to that and believes the child to be his.
Okay.
Which, yeah, and they are humanoids. Those claw marks are not indicative of the type of humanoids they are, nor the bare feet aspect. These humanoids wear shoes.
Okay.
I still stand by my Yeti theory, or some other bestial humanoid. Perhaps lycanthropy?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I
Was there any indication of magic for the child's conception?
The child, Priscilla, the one that is missing, they had been trying for some time to have a child and failed. She had lost 6 children before Priscilla was born. There's a common phrase that's a miracle. I suppose you could say that is magical in and of itself, a miracle child after 6 failed attempts.
Perhaps pact? Druidic? Indicating lycanthropy? Or
Infernal.
the child might have been a tiefling
Maybe.
and just succumbed to their tiefling nature.
I don't know if that would be a correct assumption. I'm not sure that would be
Depending
tiefling
on-
nature. I think that perhaps
I do not mean to imply all tieflings are violent. I mean that she transformed,
maybe,
took the form of a tiefling, which would explain why she is hiding.
or was compelled or used by whatever pact that they had made. I'm uncertain, though. I feel like we're grasping at straws.
There is much grasping. However, these sorts of things are not unprecedented.
I feel...
Several of your own children are tieflings.
What do you think the key is in his heart means? Surely that must mean the child. And I'm sorry, hold on, what?
Several of your children were tieflings.
Not even gonna... Focusing on the case.
You entered in appropriate pacts for magic, expending your children's autonomy for it.
What do you think the key is in his heart means, RA-THERIS?
It is either literal, and we should dissect the man's heart, and as it is not uncommon for names to be inscribed on the heart, or the heart, if he has 2 children, one could say a man's heart is his children. As such, given the previous statement of a parent should sacrifice anything for their child, it is possible that that the child caused the incident. He sacrificed it. The key is the child.
Which one, though? Priscilla or this child of an affair? Priscilla went missing, but Iris said that her and her sister were close. I tried to test her and see if that was the case, and it appears that they were. Priscilla would fall under her care, yet they could not find her.
Indeed.
The claw mark...
That is why I'm indicating. That is why I think she is the one who did it. She's hiding, scared.
The claw mark that you found here, it would make sense. The claw mark on our door, I'm not sure why she would come to us, but if lycanthropy is an option,
we had a druid.
It lines up that the claw mark here would be the same, made from the same creature that made the claw mark on our door. Priscilla might be the creature with the claws.
Indeed, and we had a druid. Lycanthropes are known to associate with druids. She might have had some sense to go to the druid.
Do we?
Now, on that note, so it does depend on the druid, and I'll have to speak with the player to figure out the exact connection. But the affiliation towards druids with lycanthropes could be either very positive or very negative.
We should
And the-
get. I don't know anything about druids, RA-THERIS. That's out of my realm of expertise.
Indeed, that is why you had several in your companions.
Good to know. We should make our way back over to our companions.
Agreed.
Hopefully they have uncovered
Come.
the other half of this puzzle.
And
I hand you your
oh,
steed, right quick.
yes, the steed.
I'm gonna name him. I don't know yet. I truly have no idea.
Well, so the good news is you're gonna have plenty of time to figure that out because we're gonna wrap up here.
Okay.
And that is where we're gonna call it. So next time, we're gonna go ahead and pick up with where near Neum and Styria were during all of this, and perhaps kind of get some more information about the fruits of their investigation. So we're gonna be meeting up again. We're gonna be continuing Colder Than a Twitch's Wit right here. At a time to be announced later. Definitely still continuing. We're hopefully going to get to the bottom of it, and figure out what happened.
I think the child's a demon. I don't know.
I think the child's a lycanthrope. I'm nicer, I guess.
Child could be a demon. Child could be a lycanthrope. I don't know what's with that kid, dude. It clearly turns into something. I don't know that.
No matter what, it's gonna join.
It's
there's
it's a
brood.
were gnome.
It's gonna. It's
She was a human. How did she become a were gnome if she's a human? You know what? All these questions and more to be answered.
No, that's what it means. She transforms when she goes into lycanthrope mode. She becomes a gnome.
We will.
That's terrifying.
We'll of course.
Chucky woman right now. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna jump into our spiel. How are you gonna? When are we gonna meet again? God knows. But the best way to keep up to date and keep sure that you don't miss the next episode is over on our Twitter @_rolling nomads, where you can find all of our announcements when we're going live, when we plan to go live next, our schedule changes and all that. Of course, with the holidays coming up, likely we'll be taking a lot of breaks. And with me drowning in marketing homework, we've had to cancel a couple of streams already because I'm suffering. But yeah, Twitter is the best way to keep up to date with that. @_rolling nomads, as well as our Hive and Hive Social @rolling nomads. That's where you can both those platforms is where you can find our going live announcements, our vacation schedules, our regular schedules, our new programming, all those sort of things, our late starts. And once again, Twitter @_rolling nomads, Hive Social @rolling nomads. Whenever we do reconvene, it'll be on a Sunday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yeah, time zones. 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. At a Sunday, on a Sunday. Some Sunday.
You know, be Sunday the 7th.
Yeah, right here on twitch.tv/rolling nomads. Of course, normally we would have our gaming stream tomorrow, Monday, over at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, right here on twitch.tv/rolling nomads. We are likely not to cancel again because I'm bad and I'm drowning in homework, guys. I hate this. I hope I
believe in you.
I hope I never have to use this degree. But we'll
the
see.
worst
That would mean that it was for nothing.
It's fine. No, it won't. It'll be a nice paperweight or like a mouse pad. But yeah,
I can turn into origami for you.
Okay. Paper crane.
The fractal snake. Just recreate
I
that.
I can.
Normally we do our gaming streams at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time right here on twitch.tv/rolling nomads. However, this upcoming week probably gonna just take off for the holidays and such. Of course, same thing for Fridays. We are going to be starting up our Hunter sort of mini series after the holidays. Same time that Book of Saints was going. It's going to be 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time as well. Fridays right here on twitch.tv/rolling nomads. That'll be the interim, our little 4 to 10 episode of Hunter the Reckoning, 5th edition, in between seasons of Book of Saints, our Sabbat Chronicle. Of course, you'll find us after the holidays again over on twitch.tv/The Onyx Path for our Scion Godsend campaign. Of course, with it landing right on Christmas and New Year's these next couple Sundays, we're not doing that. We'll see you guys after the holidays for that, for the continuation. The King in Yellow is dead. Long live the King.
It's kind of weird that a bunch of pagans are respecting a non-pagan holiday. I'm
Yeah,
just
I know.
saying.
No, we just like holidays. But
I don't know, man. I mean, like, I don't even register this god in my pantheon.
we will of course be back after the holidays, Sundays for Scion Godsend at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Again, best way to keep up to date with that is over on our Twitter and our Hive. So that's all I got. Pretty quick and easy. Might have been a little bit convoluted. My brain is mush. That's all I got.
Cool.
You just gotta come up with a name for the fractal snake.
Yes.
Because you deleted its previous name.
Sad.
When you said delete everything.
No. And I will say I never thought that I would ever use the phrase classy tramp stamp. And you guys have shown me that so many things are possible through ZERRIS.
Oh god.
ZERRIS is the way.
If you stick around, we're gonna raid people. Send us out, David.
Yep. So
Indeed.
last little thing I have is rolling into the holiday season. It's not always the best time of the year for everybody. Some people kind of forget that. So, check in on people, make sure they're good. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. We'll see you guys.
We've been the Rolling Nomads, and thanks for joining us.